Hello all, 4Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Trial Guide series. Containment Bay S1T7 is a level 60 optional trial introduced in patch 3.2 and is featured during the quest When the Bow Wakes. The quest giver is Yuna Kalhai in the Rising Stones. To unlock this quest and trial, you must first complete the main scenario quest As Goes Light, So Goes Darkness and the side quest Gods of Eld. It is also worth mentioning at the time of recording this video, 10 Tomestones of Poetics are awarded upon completion. Get ready for the first of 3 trials that make up the Warring Triad. So without further ado, let's dive into the guide. Start the fight as normal with the main tank gaining enmity of Sephirot and facing him away from the party. Sephirot has a hard-hitting cleave, triple trial that the party must avoid, and will pulse out a raid-wide damage ability, Sephirot, throughout this phase. After a short while, a random player will be marked with a stat marker. The party needs to group on this player and share the damage. The main tank will also need to watch out for Chesed. When the boss raises his left arms, prepare for a hard-hitting tank buster. Mitigate and heal through this as necessary. The party will also need to watch out for Ratson. This ability will mark random players with a green AoE marker. The affected players need to spread out to avoid overlapping AoE damage. And the final mechanic for this phase is Aid. Sephirot will turn to face a random player. The party then needs to stand behind the boss to avoid being hit with a huge 180-degree AoE that will also debuff anyone hit with vulnerability, increasing damage received. These mechanics will then rotate until around 60% health when phase 2 begins. Phase 2 is the ads phase. The tank should gain enmity of the 4 Bina ads and the larger Kotma ad, and the party should AoE these down as quickly as possible. Sephirot will be untargetable throughout the phase and will be charging an ultimate ability which can be seen under duty information. There will be 2 rounds of ads, and this phase is a mini DPS check. Failure to kill these ads before the ultimate gauge reaches 100 will wipe the party. However, you have plenty of time, so that should never really happen. Once both set of ads have been killed, Sephirot will fall off the edge of the arena and cast the ultimate Einsof Or. Mitigate and heal through this damage, ready for phase 3. Phase 3 will see us fighting a much larger Sephirot with a new set of mechanics. Also note that we can now fall off the edge of the arena, which will kill the player. The first mechanic we have to deal with is Pillar of Mercy. You need to stand close to the edge of the blue marker on the arena, standing on the side with the most land to be pushed into. Stand towards the south edge of the first, the east side of the second, and the west side of the third. Next, 2 players will be targeted with a unique marker. These players need to spread to the sides of the arena, as Sephirot will deal damage in a frontal column AoE towards the marked players in the form of Earthshaker, dealing damage to anyone in the line of sight. Shortly after, Sephirot will kneel down and prepare a non-telegraphed ability, Malkuth. The party needs to close in on Sephirot as he will soon cast Malkuth and knock back players a considerable distance. Being in the wrong position here can knock you from the platform. Immediately after, 2 Bina ads and a singular Storm of Words ads will spawn. The tanks need to gain enmity of the Bina ads, and the rest of the party should focus the Storm of Words. This needs to be killed before it completes its cast of Revelation. During this ads phase, all players will also get marked with a point blank AoE in the form of Yisan. Avoid the AoE and another Earthshaker mechanic as necessary. Keep dealing damage to Sephirot until the stat marker on the Storm of Words wind appears. The party must stand together in the marker to avoid being killed. The party will get hit with Ascension, punching players into the air and avoiding Pillar of Severity. Any player hit with Sephirot's arm will be killed, and if the whole party is hit, this will wipe the duty. Next, it is recommended for the party to spread out to avoid the splashing AoE damage from Dart, randomly targeting a few players. Heal through the damage as necessary. Shortly after this, Sephirot will cast Spirit, spawning 2 coloured orbs to the arena. This is simply an AoE damage ability. Stand on whichever side you prefer and prepare to heal through the damage. Immediately after Spirit, 2 towers will spawn. At least 1 party member should stand in each to mitigate the damage from Fiendish Whale and to avoid debuffing the raid with paralysis. All of the mechanics mentioned for this phase will now rotate, so make sure to resolve them as mentioned. The only thing to note is that this phase does have an enrage timer, and after the 3rd spawn of Storm of Words, the stat marker won't appear, and the party will wipe to Pillar of Severity. The DPS check is not very challenging, and you should have no problem finishing off Sephirot. And there you have it, Containment Bay S1T7 is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and receive your loot. We give this trial a difficulty rating 3 out of 5 swords. This trial has multiple ways to wipe and non-telegraph mechanics, so be careful. The special loot for this trial includes Sephirot Sap and the Sephirot card. Remember to like, comment, and if you haven't already, click to subscribe. We are 4Player Squad Gaming. Until next time, thanks for watching.